Hey everyone, it's Jason, and do you remember your first cruise, and how did you feel walking onto that cruise ship for the first time? If you're new to cruising or just want to reminisce, these are 11 things that surprise newer cruisers. And personally for me, number 9 was the biggest shock. So number 1, and this surprises a lot of newer cruisers, the casino and the shops are closed in port. So when we get on our cruise on embarkation day, I like to record. And I'm always down in the casino, and for sure, every cruise, I have someone asking me, hey, could you tell me why the casino isn't open? And I have to explain to them, hey, by law, until we get about 3 miles offshore, the casino and the shops don't open. And they're like, oh, never knew that? Never was explained to me. Because if you do look, there really isn't a lot of information on it. So people are walking around ready to start gambling, right? And they can't do it until you leave and you're 3 miles offshore. Now, the other thing too is a lot of these cruise ships are starting to add vending machines. So on the Wonder of the Seas, they have vending machines for such things as like earbuds, sunscreen, other things that you may need. And they also have to close in port because they want you to go in port to buy those goods. So that's just something that you might want to keep in mind. Is that something that messed you up on your first cruise? Let me know. So number 2, you need to be aware of this one because the cruise lines are a little sneaky when it comes to this, is port days are shorter than advertised. So what I mean by this is, let's say you're looking in the app and it says the port is 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The way you need to look at it is you're probably not going to get off the ship until at least 7:30 a.m., maybe even 7:45 a.m. And you need to be back no later than 4:30 p.m. If you show back up at 5 p.m. at your ship, at the very worst, you're going to be waving goodbye to your ship and you'll have missed it. At the very least, you're going to be running towards your ship as they're trying to pull in the gangway. People are going to be yelling and screaming at you, and you're going to be on some TikTok video as a pier runner. Don't do this as a new cruiser. In my opinion, and this is what I've always done, is we show up 90 minutes before that 5 o'clock time in the port area. So we can walk around the port area, we see the ship. It's a casual stroll back to the ship. So I want to be back in that area around 3:30. That's my rule. Now the other thing to consider is make sure you understand ship time and port time. Now for me, about 99% of the time, the apps are correct. I've had some people tell me that in the MSC app, it's not always accurate. So that is something to be aware of, but you'll know they'll make announcements, but just understand ship versus port time, or once again, you also might be watching your ship sail off without you because you didn't understand that. So as a newer cruiser, please be aware of this. So the third thing that I've heard that newer cruisers are surprised about is that alcoholic drinks are not included. And when they see the price of the beverage package, they get sticker shock. Sometimes the beverage package can cost almost as much as their cruise fare. And what I think is happening is that a lot of newer cruisers are talking to their friends, they're seeing pictures on social media, people are having a great time on a cruise with drink in hand, and they go, let's do this, let's book a cruise. They do it, and then they get online and see how much that beverage package costs. Now, some of the rules also take newer cruisers by surprise. That everyone in the cabin has to have the beverage package. And that there's limits, such as on Carnival, 15 drinks per 24 hours. Now what I'll say to you is if you're not a bigger drinker, if you only are going to drink a couple drinks a day, I would not get the beverage package. The other thing that you may want to take advantage of, especially if you're a wine drinker, is make sure to bring your bottles of wine on board. Some cruise lines, 2-3 bottles that you can bring per cabin. So that is something that definitely surprises newer cruisers. So number 4, and this one surprised me when I first started cruising, is the diversity of the crew. You're going to find crew members from all over the world. I absolutely love getting to know the crew. Where are they from? What do they like to eat? What do they do when they go home and they spend time with their families? It really makes cruising enjoyable. In fact, I think that's one of the most enjoyable things about cruising is just getting to know the crew and the interactions with them. If you're a newer cruiser, you're going to love that part of cruising. They make the experience of cruising, in my opinion, amazing. You're gonna enjoy that part. So number 5, you have to pay for Wi-Fi. Now I see why a lot of newer cruisers would be confused by this, because they're told from the beginning, make sure to download your app because you can buy everything through that. And I know people are like, well, I have to have Wi-Fi in order to use the app on the ship, do I not? Oh yeah, you'll have access to that, but you don't have access to regular Wi-Fi. It is confusing. But if you want to be able to get on social media, email somebody, watch YouTube videos, you are going to need to buy Wi-Fi. Now, one tip here to help you save a little money is, let's say you and your wife want Wi-Fi. If you're on Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, even Princess, I saw this works, don't buy one package for each, so one device each. Buy 2 devices under one of your names and you'll save some money. I know it sounds crazy. So recently I just booked a Princess cruise and we get a discount because we're platinum, and sure enough, this was crazy to me, is if we both would have bought a package, it would have been $174. But buying the 4 device package for myself is $157. So it does work. Make sure to just check around those little tips right there. Hopefully that saves you a little money if you're going to be buying the Wi-Fi package. So number 6, and this surprises a lot of newer cruisers, is basically there's food 24/7. So if you're hungry at 1 a.m. and you're on a Royal Caribbean ship, head down to Sorrento's Pizza. On Celebrity, the buffet's a lot of times open and you can get pizza, salads, whatever you want there. On Princess, you just go down to International Cafe. Also, a lot of times, room service is open 24/7. There is a reason why they say people gain 1 pound per day of their cruise. And unfortunately, I'm afraid to admit I definitely know that for a fact. So just be aware of that. There is 24/7 food. So number 7, don't get too spoiled by this, because when you get back home, you're definitely going to miss this, is you're going to have a cabin attendant cleaning your cabin up to 2 times a day, and they're going to make you these cute towel animals. Now, I absolutely love my cabin attendants. I love they just pamper me, and if you ask for something like, hey, I'd like some more towels or some wine glasses, not a problem. We told the cabin attendant it was our anniversary. And look at this. He made this beautiful 2 swans and rose petals. How incredible was that? I have to tell you, it is one of the most pampering parts of cruising. You're going to miss this when you get back home. Definitely. So the 8th thing, and this worries newer cruisers and seasoned cruisers alike, is formal night. And I'm here to tell you, it's not that big of a deal. So I love that cruise lines, especially in the past 5 years, have relaxed those policies. It's not even called formal night anymore. It's called chic or dress your best night. Now for me, I wear a dark pair of jeans, dress shoes, and a button-down shirt. That's basically what I wear every single night. But if you want to wear an amazing tux and a beautiful evening gown, knock yourself out. I'm going to be jealous of you guys. But it's really not that big of a deal. Do not overthink this. Don't go on all the boards asking what you should wear, what you shouldn't wear, because you're going to get a million different opinions, and you don't know what kind of experience level they have with cruising. They may not like that the cruise lines have relaxed their policies, and they're going to give you their opinion. Go by the dress code that's out there for the cruise line and just enjoy yourself. So before I get to 9, 10, and 11, I would ask that you please like this video and consider subscribing, as it does help the channel grow. If you could do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much. So number 9, and this was a huge shock to me, is how much smaller cruise cabins are versus hotel rooms. So the average hotel room in the United States is roughly 400 square feet, where a cruise cabin is about 150 to 200 square feet if you're not in a suite. If you want a 400 square foot cabin on a cruise ship, you have to get typically a suite, and that's going to cost you thousands of dollars. Now, a couple things here is what you'll find is in most cruise cabins is they are amazing storage. They do a great job with it, the cruise lines. So make sure to put your luggage under your bed. That will get them out of the way. And you're going to find tons of storage. The second thing is, and this is my opinion, is when I'm feeling a little claustrophobic, this is why I like to have a balcony. I like going out on the balcony, just enjoying the ocean go by. What is your favorite type of cruise cabin? Let me know in the comments. So number 10, and no list is complete without talking about tipping. Who you should tip, why you should tip, and when you should tip. This confuses newer cruisers and seasoned cruisers alike. Now here's the thing you need to be aware of. Make sure you're not double tipping. So if you buy that beverage package, and if you buy it in the cruise planner before or on the ship, just understand gratuities are included. Specialty dining, gratuities are included. Spa treatments, you guessed it, gratuities are included. I hear a lot of people, especially in the spa, they have this beautiful 90-minute massage and it's done and their head's foggy. They're handed something to sign off on, and unfortunately, us as Americans, we see a tip line and we want to add something to it. And I hear them coming out of the spa going, how did I spend $360, $380 on a spa treatment? Well, unfortunately, you more than double tipped. You may have given a $100 tip plus. Just be aware, especially as a newer cruiser, of double tipping. So the 11th and final thing that surprises newer cruisers is just how early they have to leave their cabin on disembarkation day. Typically, most cruise ships, everyone's off around 9 a.m. We were recently on the Wonder of the Seas. We're seasoned cruisers, 30 plus cruises. We were through customs, in our car, with our luggage, on the road driving at 6:18 in the morning. Now we did choose to walk off, so we wanted to be off early, and we do live in Orlando, and we were home before 7 in the morning. That is the earliest I've ever been home and disembarked a cruise ship. Even surprised us. What is something as a seasoned cruiser that surprised you on your first cruises? And if you're a newer cruiser, what are you worried about? I'll do my best to answer your comments. I do appreciate you guys watching. Thank you again so much for the support. It really does mean a lot to me. And until I talk to you soon, happy cruising.